stellium individuals, and also for those of you who simply feel called to read this reading because of the listed growth opportunity. This is a growth opportunity reading. It's potential avenues of growth that Spirit is presenting to you that you could work on right now. And interestingly enough, I'm not surprised because Taurus is related to the Empress as and the Hierophant, is that you've got some healing opportunities in front of you that seem to be a mixture of things. It's something to do with the home, something to do with the garden, and something to do with financial constraints. Now, the cards that we have, card number 18 in reverse, it's the Fragrant Field. And it's funny because much like the moon card in Rider Waite, which is the 18th card, it's a little confusing to look at it and go, wonder what that means. But when I think about a fragrant field, and I think about being a rabbit, I think about being in this beautiful place with all these wonderful smells and sights and things and stuff to do and play with and eat and nibble on. And if I think about that in reverse, it's kind of like a big stinky field, you know, a big field that's full of weeds and not the kind that are yummy and delicious, like the kind that like kind of eat up all the ones that are not that are delicious. And then the next card that you got is the 13th card of this deck, which is associated with the death card in Rider Waite's financial constraints. And it's interesting because it's got a cabinet. It looks like an old form of vault, and it's only got a few pennies in it, and there's a lot of cobwebs in there. And so what that tells me is there might be some cobwebs of things going on with you and people that help you tend your garden or care for your home. And there's one door closed on it, so I'm getting the sense there are things you cannot see right now, and there are some things that you can see, and it may be about either one of those. It could be about learning to let go of what you do not know and cannot see and letting it work itself out, or it could be about figuring out what's behind there. And typically, when there's a hidden door, it's usually something hidden within ourselves, but that may be reflected in somebody around you hiding something. Now, you actually got four cards, and I was going to stick to three, but at this point, I'm going to allow it and see what it is. So, what you got in the last two is engage higher reasoning and address your addictions. Now, addictions is a funny word sometimes. I used to talk about how the funny thing is, so like if you're addicted to jogging, nobody's going to call that an addiction. They call that fitness, right? If you're addicted to drawing, they don't call that an addiction. They call that art, right? Usually, and what I mean by that is that not all addictions are unhealthy. Not all of them are bad, but typically when we use the word addiction or to be an addict, is that we're talking about a negative addiction that is not helping us. So I don't see either in the underlying cards or the above ones that there's like a lot of other people. So this seems more like a you with you thing, or if it's somebody that you're thinking about, or you're watching this reading for someone else, it could be that that's what they're going through. Like they're dealing with something that is at odds within themselves. Now, whether it's you or them, it's a good time to engage higher reasoning. Get in touch with your inner being, get into a higher vibration, look for a place within that not so fragrant field that reminds you of the fragrant field. Or maybe it's time to do you have a garden? Do you have a literal opportunity that you can go and sit and pull some weeds? It's a great stress reliever, and it gets you literally grounded. Like sitting on the earth is called earthing. It helps get you grounded. Oh, thank you, Miss Stone. Nice to see you, and you're welcome. And I mean, as with, the 13th card in the Rider Waite deck, it very much has to do with transformation, butterfly moments, phoenix moments, things like that. So it may be that it's time to look at some ways of thinking that need to just alchemize by now. I mean, are you feeling like things are a little out of control right now? I mean, if you're having financial problems or you're feeling like there's, some unhelpful weeds around. I hate to even say that because so many weeds are medicinal and we don't even know it. And so many people just look at them and say, that's not pretty. And they tear it out or something like that. So, I mean, think about it. What perspective are you viewing things in? Are you looking at whatever current challenge is going on for you, whether it's financial or it's simply about a deception or an old way of thinking? Are you getting hyper vigilant or hyper fixated on someone or something, because that could be qualified as an addiction that is not healthy or helpful to you. Now let's look in the book for these newer cards. Let's look at 13. So 13, financial constraints, restrictions concerning money. This card shows an old-fashioned safe with little money but lots of cobwebs and dust. Money may be tight at this time, so rein in your spending and be circumspect about the financial requirements in your life. This is not a time of indulgence, so be aware of what's really important and consciously choose your expenditures. There's a big difference between what you need and what you want. This card is telling you to take care of your needs and bide your time. Things will get better, but for now be willing to live more conservatively and always value the money and the good things you already have. Affirmation: I can move through any cycle with dignity and awareness. I am open to receiving increasing wealth. Money moves to and through my life, bringing benefits to all. And you can apply that also to anything emotionally, like calm brings benefits to all, peacefulness brings benefits to all, allowing people to do their own thing brings peace to all, like we'll put it where it fits. All right. I'm gonna say last but not least. So because I'm being called to add the numbers. So we also have 9 and 4, which is the Hermit and the Emperor. So it may be that you're dealing with a masculine figure who is in hermit mode right now and not talking with you very much or not being openly communicative. And when you put 9 and 4 together, you get 13 again. So even though there's not a lot of other like people in any of these cards and stuff, I'm still getting the sense you may have an interpersonal relationship that you got some cobwebs to deal with in terms of energetic shadow work to do. And if that's coming up for you, then take it. If not, then toss it out and use what worked for you. And I'll catch you in the next video.